Hello and welcome to the Dig Break Podcast, episode 29 for the week of August. August 6th, 2015.
You skipped a lot of things between April and August.
I know. I just kept shouting out months until I found the right one. August 6th, 2015. I'm your host, James Lee, and with me today we have Max Lee.
Hello.
And Taylor Kelsey.
I haven't had coffee all week and I'm dying.
I had a little bit today and I'm okay now. Actually, no, the coffee I had today was terrible because I reused my beans. I thought I could reuse them.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, sometimes I do because I'm really terrible and lazy, but then this time it was just really bad, so I didn't do it.
You call yourself pretentious, James? Come on, that's not pretentious.
Like my life is an eternal struggle of like be pretentious or be a college student, and like you have to choose one.
Yeah,
and I chose the latter today.
I don't have enough money to be pretentious.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's an eternal struggle. It's okay though because my office has a Keurig.
Nice.
Yeah. Really terrible.
My parents went on vacation, and they took all the coffee with them.
Really?
Oh. I don't have enough money to buy coffee.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Like I'm
just so tired all the time.
Oh God, that's horrible. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone.
I texted my mom. It's like, oh, there's no coffee in the house. She just did not respond. Not acknowledging.
Deal with it. Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, not coffee related. We have quite a bit of news this week. This week was Gamescom over in, I think, Cologne, France.
What?
Yeah, that's where they host it. That's where they host Gamescom, I believe.
Gamescom's in Germany.
Germany? Wow, I'm bad. Wow. I am really bad. I don't know why I kept thinking like France.
Because Cologne, I guess? Because it looks like a French word?
It looks like a French word. Shame.
It's Cologne, Germany.
Cologne, Germany. Sorry for my terrible geography skills. Yeah, so a lot of stuff being announced. I don't know, like I didn't see any like huge new game announcements, but there were a lot of like a lot of trailers and a lot of
a lot of solid stuff.
A lot of solid stuff. Yeah, I would say this is a pretty good one. So, just going down the list, we'll just talk about real quick. Battlefront gets a new game mode, not the one we talked about last week, but a new one. Mirror's Edge gets some gameplay.
Yay.
Need for Speed gets some more gameplay featuring the Yakuza. Dark Souls 3 gameplay is out. Some screenshots from XCOM 2. Halo Wars 2 has been announced. Some news about Black Ops 3, which I find actually pretty cool. And we should really have just like a separate segment for Konami now.
Konami has poured gasoline on the fire that is their company.
Yeah.
Konami poured gasoline on babies.
I would not say that. I didn't read that report.
I mean, given how terrible they've been treating like their employees, which we'll talk about later.
I don't think they're terrorists.
No, I don't think they are.
We'll wait for next week for the
Konami
scathing
funds
article to
ISIS.
come out.
Yeah, literally, ISIS. Okay, before we go too far down that rabbit hole, Battlefront gets a new game mode. It's not deathmatch, at least not in the traditional sense. It's Fighter Squadron. It's really funny because people were like so complaining about like lack of space battles in the new Battlefront, and then like DICE kind of just trolls everybody. It's like it's not in space, but it's actually in the atmosphere, and it's almost the same thing. You get
the same thing.
Well, you don't get the boarding
fighting,
ship. You don't get the boarding ship part, but I don't.
That was so boring, dude. The boarding never actually worked functionally because you run into their base and it's just a crap ton of spawning AI and just shooting at you every single time.
And you throw some thermal detonators onto the generators, to take down the ship, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nostalgia is way too strong.
Yeah. Actually, Taylor, you played some Battlefront this week. I don't want to get into it too early, but I saw you playing some Battlefront 2 this week.
Yes, Gavin White came into my house and played Battlefront.
Oh.
And just complained about how bad it was, and I didn't like him. We're not friends anymore.
To be fair, that game has not aged well.
No, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay, so I think my favorite part about that though was not the Millennium Falcon or the voiced Han Solo or the Slave One, but like basically one of my favorite Star Wars ships in the Star Wars franchise, the A-wing was like officially confirmed to be like a vehicle to be flown. Which that's one of my favorite.
For you.
Yeah, that did. I really like the A-wing. It's one of my favorite fighters because it's really fast. Like lore-wise, it's super fast and super efficient. But it's just yeah. And then there's TIE interceptors, and then you could fly the Slave One as a hero. There's like a hero battle thing, and then stuff like that. It looks fun. That, by the way, like having played the alpha, that trailer was not like they didn't put that much. They put very little, if any, polish on that trailer at all. So they didn't bump up like settings like more than they could have in game to make it look better.
So, when you're watching a YouTube video of it, it's not going to look that good.
Oh, of course not. No.
This is how YouTube works.
Like I mean, at least YouTube allows 60 frames per second playback now, so at least there's that. But yeah,
but the actual video quality is still going to be less than ideal.
Artifacting is a really big issue. Yeah. I remember for Battlefield 4 trailers, they would actually go and release like uncompressed footage. Basically, they were huge downloads. They were like around 1 gigabyte for the trailer, for like a 6-minute trailer. But it did
sound like you said gigabyte weird. A gigabyte.
Yeah. How many bytes? How many bytes? A gig.
A gigabyte.
How many bytes is that? A gigabyte. Yeah. No. It's. Yeah, so like you could download the trailers to like offsite and stuff like that, and it was pretty cool. But you can't do that, unfortunately, for Battlefront. So I wish they would, but oh well. But I can say that the game does look very good in person. So that's that. Mirror's Edge got gameplay footage. What do you guys think?
I like it. With the new combat mechanics, like. What is it? Swinging around with a pole, or just the whole movement seems smoother than the original Mirror's Edge.
I would certainly hope so. Yeah. Taylor, have you played the original Mirror's Edge?
No, I'm ashamed, but I have not even watched any gameplay of it other than know that it's parkour game.
Yeah, it's shinier than it was before, which actually I'm a little bit kind of wishy-washy about because I actually really enjoyed the matte flat colors that were used in the original Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
It was like almost way too clean. And this one certainly has a different tone. It's like way more it's more gritty. It's shiny but gritty at the same time. So like I don't know. It looks better, of course, but it's a weird mix between shiny and gritty.
More
but
colors.
Overall, it just tickles my cyberpunk senses.
Oh yeah.
So that's always good for me. And parkour's always good.
Well, the story part shown in that gameplay footage already seems like what are they doing? Experimenting with human minds. It already seems a bit cyberpunk.
Oh yeah.
I guess one of the reasons why they went for more grit, more variety in colors, because the new Mirror's Edge, unlike the last one, is going to be open world, so you're going to need to remember locations, and if it's all clean and white, they all blend together, and it's kind of hard to memorize where each place is.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, it's not just colors. You could use shapes. You could use shapes max. It's 3D after all. But yeah, you're right. It does help with identification of different buildings. I did not like how much they were using like the dialogue. They were like talking a lot in that trailer. So that's something I didn't like about it. But otherwise, it looks pretty good, and I'm pretty excited for it. Moving on, Need for Speed. I will tell you guys right now, and I will admit it on the podcast, that I am actually quite a fan of the Need for Speed series.
You say that like that's a bad word.
Well, because like the more recent Need for Speeds have not been that great, and I actually quite enjoyed them. Because I think maybe that's
Rivals? You like Rivals?
Okay, I did not pick up Rivals or The Run. I did.
Okay, good. The Run sucks.
Those are the worst
so
ones,
much.
So.
Yeah, I played
slingshotting.
I played the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit reboot.
That's a good game.
I like Hot Pursuit a lot. So yeah. I think what was with that was that they used Hot Pursuit 2 maps, but just polished them over and all that. and look, I really like that. I should really play it again. And then I played the most recent Most Wanted, which also I liked, but there's a lot of DLC that is really expensive that I can't buy.
Well, it's EA. Of course, there's going to be lots of DLC.
Yeah, that was during like EA's super dark years of like just DLC for everything, and it's all really expensive and horrible. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I appreciate the Need for Speed games. So this new one looks really good. They're doing a weird thing. Have you guys seen the trailers for Need for Speed at all?
No. I've seen the original trailer, but I've not seen anything after that.
Like, I guess there's like some type of meta story in it because you see people in the game, but like it's like half filmed and then half rendered by a computer, by a game console or a computer. It's really strange the way they do it.
Isn't that like the old Most Wanted and the old Underground?
I'm not sure.
The PS2 ones, because if my memory's correct, they used real life footage and also CG and stuff for the older Most Wanted and Underground Need for Speed games.
Yeah. Like, actually, like, I felt like it was kind of more like DICE kind of flexing their graphical muscles. They're like, oh, which one's pre-rendered, or which one's like real life, and which one's rendered. It's pretty funny the way they do it. Like cars, I feel are really easy to render well. People are probably the hardest.
It's a static object.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Barely not much animation going on except for the tires, I guess.
Yeah, so like people is a little bit harder. But one thing is that it has has a really cool car in it that I like, the Toyota FRS or the Subaru BRZ. They're the same car, but that's like I'll be happy to be driving that when the game drops, and like they do a lot of aftermarket mods for the cars, and you can see the branding for all that. So I guess they're licensed, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm optimistic about that game. I don't know what you guys feel.
So car modding is back in now?
Yeah, very heavy car modifications.
Alright, that's bound to make a lot of people happy.
Yeah. One thing I did note was that like in the Gamescom trailer, there's like a clip of, I guess what I would assume would be you, the protagonist, like fist bumping this Japanese dude with like crazy highlights and stuff like that. And I noticed that like that guy I've actually seen that guy somewhere, and it's because I saw it was like a weird feature film, like short video thing I saw on the web about like the underground driving scene in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about this like dude who owned this chrome neon like rainbow Lamborghini. Have you ever seen it? Like, I'm sure like it's all over the internet where like it's this Lamborghini and it's like all chrome, but like when it goes under the lights, it goes all like rainbowish colored.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Yeah, so like there's like a little like mini documentary about the guy who owns that car, and that guy is actually in the game. And what's interesting is that guy like is basically a gangster, I guess. It's very vague as
He's
to
in
like,
the game.
The guy in the Yakuza.
Yeah, like he seems to be in the Yakuza or something. That's what reports are, but I wouldn't know. So I thought that was kind of cool though, just to like that guy's cameo.
I mean, I guess he's famous enough in the underground car scene that he gets a cameo.
Well-timed car sound in Taylor's mic.
Sorry, I live by streets. I apologize.
I live by
Are you an
streets.
underground racer, Taylor?
I'm not talking about that in public.
If you seen Taylor's car, Max, you would definitely know that he's in there. He's in that scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It can go multiple miles an hour. Don't mean to brag.
It could drive more than 20 miles without falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most impressive thing about it. Halo for PC was announced again. No,
What are you talking about?
Halo Wars 2, of
Not
course.
Halo for PC. That's way different.
But Halo
course.
Wars 2 is going to be for PC.
I feel like I'm the only person in the world that cares about Halo Wars 2.
What did you think of the original Halo Wars?
I played a ton of it with my friend.
Good.
We were like the best doubles team in Halo Wars. It was literally like 100 match win streaks. Stuff like
It's
that.
an RTS, right?
Yes. We played it about 2 years after it came out, and there was a solid like 1,800 player base for
really?
it.
Not bad.
So it felt small because it always kind of plays a lot of the same people. I compare it to it's like the dive kick of RTSs in the
Okay.
way that it skips all the bullshit and you just get right to the fun part of it. Dive kick, you just get right to the mind games that go on between your characters.
Okay.
And in this, you just get right to the heart of the rock paper scissors way that that RTSs work.
No micromanagement or resource
Yeah, you don't
control.
have to worry about your APMs. It's all on a controller. It's not like I can't click fast enough, so I'm bad at this game. That's just not super fun.
That's what StarCraft
all-
2 has come down to, right? Like APM.
Well, if you're at the top level.
APM,
sure, yeah.
micromanaging, basically kiting your units, which is apparently very, very difficult in an RTS sense.
There is that in Halo, but it's on Xbox controllers, so it's not as micro as you'd want. I don't know. It's a really great game,
But
and
Halo Wars
I'm glad there's
2
another one.
is going to be on PC, which means the whole APM micromanaging bullshit is probably going to happen.
But it's still going to be insanely simple. I'm sure they're not going to go full StarCraft 2.
I mean, they're aiming at the mainstream audience, so yeah.
I actually wonder what they're going to do with that because we're going to I guess we'll talk about it right now, but like Halo's kind of like further diving into the esports scene. Well,
they're
more
trying
than
their goddamn best, and it's not working.
I don't
Did
understand
you guys watch
it.
that press conference?
I did not watch the press cons, but from what I've been told, there has been a large prize pool for a certain game.
The press conference was two shoutcasters for Halo shoutcasting over a previously recorded competitive Halo match.
Why would you
What?
do that?
What?
Mhm.
That's what something
It
like
sucks.
aspiring. Oh god.
I just wanted to die for like it was like 8 minutes too part of the press conference. Like it was a really long time.
Oh my
It was
god.
so awkward. The way that you get esports to work in your game
It's
is
live.
to have everything there and then just let people figure it out. You can't say this is esports, play esports, and then people get pushed away as like casual players. Who's like, oh, this is clearly for competitive professional people. I don't want to do this. The way you get successful esports games is get the casual players going, and then that eventually builds up to you have a good community of people, like an esports community, like League of Legends.
Yeah,
And
like
you can't just force esports down Halo players' throats, and they're not going to accept it. That strategy is baffling.
I don't understand it because like it's not you hit the nail on the head where it's like you can't force it on people. You have to let people kind of just like figure it out where because if you watch like any casting any like for example we're just gonna go into right now like if you watch Counter-Strike like pro Counter-Strike, the casters kind of ingrain like the game logic into their casting, so they'll explain what the players are doing even though like all the seasoned viewers have like heard this like a million times before, but they're able to like explain the game to newer players while like entertaining the existing user base. So like for example at the end is like up and he is just going to save that money to use next round. Boom.
It's like yes, we all know this. We played this game before. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's not boring for it's not particularly super boring for the original viewers, but like for new viewers,
They're learning. Yeah.
they learn a lot. They learn a lot through that. So, and then so $1 million prize pool for Halo. That's ridiculous. Like especially for obviously Halo is a pretty popular game, but do you think it warrants a $1 million prize pool when the most popular competitive esports shooter right now top prize pool is $250,000?
No, but obviously it's going to be to advertise Halo than anything else.
Yeah, I guess so, but
Is it for Halo 5?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's to advertise it. But does
I mean,
Halo
the
even have that much of a competitive scene now? Like, I believe its prime was during Halo 2, which was a long time ago.
There is competitive in Halo 3. It's like that's always been there, but the prize pools and the viewership have not been huge.
Yeah.
I know the MLG used to push it a lot in Halo 3 because there wasn't that much else for esports at the time. But I don't remember it being crazy popular. And I can't see it now getting crazy popular.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was bigger with Halo 2.
Because it's like, this is a weird question. I never thought I guess fighting games count as this, but are there any console esports games that are popular? Or is it just fighting games?
Fighting games have always been in the competitive scene, so in a way they are their own thing. But if you exclude them,
Can't wait to
besides
watch.
Halo, besides Call of Duty, which always had their tiny little esports communities, I don't think there's really much.
I think there has been some like competitive FIFA tournaments,
Oh God!
like in the UK, like, and we're not talking like huge viewership. We're talking about like little, like, you go to the pub, compete with your buddies. It's like
Of course, that's the thing, yeah.
and I believe in the UK that's what they do. Like, it's like CEVO teams in the United States, or like it's just like you do your own little intramural soccer team, but it's intramural FIFA, so it's like almost the same thing, but on your PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. So that's I think that's what they do in the UK, but that's all I can think of. And then there's fighting games.
Yeah, it's just hard to imagine a console esports game getting popular because this might be my elitism. Yes, that's the word.
elitism.
Yeah.
But when you watch Halo players with Xbox and 360 controllers in their laps, sitting away from the TV, it looks weird to me. I don't know why.
It's laughable to me.
They have crazy equipment, but it's just like an Xbox controller.
That's the best you could do, right?
That's just like pure elitism. Because I watched that when I played Halo 3. I watched people do that. It seemed totally normal, but it's just weird to me now. I fully understand that that's not really rational.
Well, like, it's like, have you seen? What's really funny is, have you ever watched the competitive Xbox Counter-Strike Global Offensive match?
There
was a pro match of Counter-Strike Global Offensive for Xbox like earlier in the day. It's laughable. It's absolutely laughable, and
just because they can do less.
Because they can do less, yeah.
And everything's not as precise as a mouse for competitive.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I find it weird. It's like, because the skill cap on this could be so much higher. You're just using. It's basically like if everyone used cork bats in baseball. Like, you could make this such a harder game and more skill, but you're just giving everyone a nice little handicap of the easy controller.
Yeah. Another thing that like baffles me about console esports is that they always change the game. Like, no one's playing competitive Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 right now. Like,
because they have to change it every single year. That's a good point.
Yeah, like they have to buy a new game.
It's hard to build a community around it.
Yeah, like it's not just changing. It's a completely new game. You have to learn the entirely new game and spend money on a brand new game. I mean, like, you could argue that like League of Legends wasn't the same game it was 4 years ago. Of course not. It's almost completely different.
But they're not on League of Legends 5 at this point. It's still the same name.
No, you're not paying for League of Legends 5.
Community.
No. Yeah.
It's interesting.
So I can't, like, that's one of the main reasons why you can't. It's really hard to do esports on console. It's just because unless you're doing some free to play game or some game that's like constantly updated, and you buy it once and for some reason you still make money out of it through other uses, like CS:GO does, microtransactions through skins and all that. I can't see, like a game that you pay for other than Counter-Strike to be, or I guess StarCraft as well, to be, an esport. It's just, you can't do that.
To be fair, Call of Duty up to Ghosts or such, the changes weren't too radical. All you had to learn was a new gun meta, and that was pretty much it. But now, since each Call of Duty seems to have a different movement system, it's gonna be. They might have to just split the competitive community if there's any left.
Well, there is, because I have the MLG app on my phone because I like to watch Counter-Strike, because for some reason CEVO still partnered up with MLG to stream their tournaments, and if I want to watch my Counter-Strike tournaments on my phone, like I get notifications from the MLG app saying, hey guys, hey dude, Optics Gaming is playing Call of Duty right now. You want to watch him? I'm like, no, I don't want to watch him at all. No, I don't think so. So yeah, so TLDR, I don't understand why we're getting $1 million on Halo when we don't even have $1 million on Counter-Strike. On the plus side though, like it could push Valve to like, hey guys, maybe we should, this lame game is getting $1 million prize pool that's also a first-person shooter, maybe we should bump up our game. But I don't think that's going to happen because I still don't think Valve has competition in terms of competitive esports, competitive first-person shooters, although I think that is going to start like changing very soon.
Huh? With what?
Well, okay, so like I've been playing a lot of Dirty Bomb, and you could obviously there's a ton of issues with Dirty Bomb that prevent it from becoming a huge esport, but like you're seeing a different breed of competitive first-person shooters now. Instead of everyone has the same equipment and everyone has like the same like, and you decide what to do with that. We're getting class-based first-person shooters because Dirty Bomb is out, and then you have Blizzard coming out with Overwatch, which I'm sure I'm sure a lot of people have forgotten by now, but like I guarantee you, so like they're looking at esports when it comes to that, just by the looks of the game.
I mean, of course, you have to try it. You have to try it. It's such a big thing. It's like what I was thinking with Microsoft, thinking this is a purely business decision. Esports is huge. Microsoft is saying, how do we get into this esports business? Let's look at the first-party games we have. Okay, I guess Halo is a competitive one. We don't really have any other competitive first-party things. I guess KI, Killer Instinct,
Gears of War.
No, Gears of War, I don't think it ever had a competitive
third
scene.
person. It's third person. Can't do it.
There's a competitive scene for Gears of War, but it's not that popular. So they're just saying we need to get into esports. This is our best game that we have to get into it. And as people who are into esports, it doesn't seem like a good fit. But it's a good fit for them because it's their only option to try and get some esports going on around with their products.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess that just begs the question, why don't they just make a new IP for esports, right? But
because Halo's such a big name.
Yeah, it's so much easier to... Why would you take a risk when it's already Halo?
That's true. I mean, but you could...
Okay.
Well, I mean, I could say... I mean, you could argue the same thing with League of Legends. I mean, it's technically a new IP. It's a familiar... it's a familiar control scheme, sure, based on original Dota, but still, it's kind of new, and then it turned into one of basically the biggest esport right now.
But the only thing I would hate more than Microsoft yelling esports at me while shoving Halo in my face is if it was some random thing that seemed like it was entirely designed for them to cash into esports.
That would seem
so scummy.
I'm telling you right now, guys, that Esports Simulator 2015 is a great investment. If we add a competitive multiplayer mode, like, oh my god, we need to patent this right now. Like right now, like if you're listening to this podcast and decide to make a game off this, you have to credit us and give us royalties of at least 10%, because I'm thinking we do Esports Simulator 2015 with competitive multiplayer, where basically you start out with like it's like a RTS where you have to create like a competing esports organization, and then you and your opponents or opponent like compete against each other in various esports, and you have to fight to become the best organization in various games. This sounds
more like a turn-based strategy game.
Sounds more like Esports Manager 2015.
Well, yeah,
sure.
I'm thinking. You guys know the game Off-World Trading Company?
I've heard of it.
It's a turn-based strategy game that's based on like economy of like buying out other companies and stuff. I just want to make a mod for that just esports and esports companies.
That'd be cool. Honestly,
that's kind of that sounds like what you're describing.
Yeah. And then maybe you could do some corporate espionage. Do some dirty tricks.
For sure.
Flame each other on Twitter.
Yeah, that's be interesting.
Have a weird stream one day, and then get a ton of publicity for that. That'd be cool. I digress. I think that's enough for esports stuff. Although, yeah, I was gonna talk about the Counter-Strike quote unquote pro mod, where a lot of disgruntled Counter-Strike players decided to tweak values on various weapons in the game and then create their own basically small mini game out of that. And I just want to kind of point at it and kind of like honestly and like clap at first to admire their dedication to, you know, making a like trying to change the game a little bit, but also laugh at the people who say that this is going to replace mainstream Counter-Strike. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that a pro mod is viable for CS:GO?
First time I'm hearing about it. I don't know what the changes are.
Just balance issues. Like, I guess the opera is better now, and like pistols are a lot less accurate. More guns are viable. Stuff like that.
Utility of it all.
I'm saying it's gonna replace.
People are thinking that like
we know it.
People are thinking, oh, we should get, you know, CEVO or ESEA or, you know, all those third-party matchmaking services to adopt it, so, you know, we don't have to deal with crappy 64-tick, you know, unbalanced Valve matchmaking. I just can't see it happening. I could be wrong, but
people can dream.
Guess so.
Dreams die.
Speaking of dying dreams, Silent Hill has been released by Konami again in the form of a Pachinko machine.
Pachinko.
Pachinko? Sorry.
Yeah.
Pachinko,
No L.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't... what do you guys think? Pissing on the grave?
Well, first,
No.
for anyone who
Salt in
doesn't
the
know,
wound?
for anyone who doesn't know, pachinko machines are basically slot machines.
Yeah.
You put a ball on the top and it goes to different holes in the bottom, and you get different points for different holes.
What?
From what I've seen, it looks kind of fun to do. If I had to gamble, I would probably do that because it seems the most visually entertaining. But I can't believe. I honestly can't like. I didn't think it was possible for Konami to go any lower in terms of like Silent Hill. Like, I feel like it was made just to spite like Kojima fans, but
It
No
felt
way.
like it. It felt like it.
yeah.
But they only got one more thing to do, and then they are truly dead to everyone. That will be a Metal Gear Solid pachinko machine.
Oh, I
I'm
could see
sure
it.
that exists. There's
By the
no
end
way
of
that
the
doesn't exist.
by the end of the year, it will be out. Guarantee it.
Goddamn.
Okay, so and the main Konami news was there's a story out this week by Giant Bomb. Was it just Giant Bomb that
No.
that reported on it? I think there was a few other places too. Like,
It was just a report, and then that article is the one I read.
okay, yeah, okay. Games journalism is kind of strange these days.
Mhm.
The way
That's a bigger conversation.
Oh yeah, that's the Pandora's box. I don't want to open just yet. But so basically there was a report on working conditions in Konami, and it was actually just a really interesting report because Taylor, you like I would like, why don't you go over?
It was just a really weird. It's very Japanese. The Japanese business.
The corporate
Instead-
culture in Japan is very strange. Yeah,
Instead of firing people, you just promote them to lower and lower positions.
demote them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Demote them until they quit because their job sucks. But it went beyond that. Like, there was stuff was like in Konami health clubs, former programmers of the game were now janitors in a Konami health club. Like, really, that's really crappy. But like the crazy stuff was, a lot of people didn't have internet access inside of work. They only had their email account that was only able to email other people that in the company, and their email address changed all the time, so they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
do anything crazy.
they rotated email addresses, right?
That is bizarre.
One of the
It's borderline abusive environment.
well,
Almost.
it basically was abusive because you would see like mass like surveillance on their own employees just to keep track of what they're doing. There's like punch cards for like, you know, attendance, which like for salaried employees that's not what you do. And then even so going so far as to do like some like completely Big Brother type things where the example I saw was if a Konami employee, you know, announced on like Facebook or Twitter that he was quitting Konami, any Konami employees that liked or favored it or whatever in that post would get reshuffled within the company. It was very like, I think even by like Japanese corporate culture, that was not that none of that was probably okay.
Also, something related to this is it came out part of this leak that MGS5 cost $80 million.
How?
Well, it is a Kojima game, and everything he makes needs a high budget.
He's well known for just throwing large amounts of work away and starting from scratch, wasting a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, like, to play devil's advocate, if you were in Konami's position, you'd probably be frustrated with Kojima just like throwing away tons of money and
absolutely
not being very aware of the amount of resources he's wasting. But I don't think I'd go so far as to demote him to a janitorial position just because he did that.
I don't think Kojima himself is a janitor.
You know what? they would have. They could have done it. And they might have if, Kojima didn't decide.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Just another chapter in the Kojima saga. We really should have our own segment for it.
We have pretty much talked about this every single week because they're finding some new way to make the company look like the devil.
Yeah, basically. Pachinko and janitors. Not fun.
I never expected to have for every week or nearly every week be talking bad things about a company. I never expected a company to go that far down that we would have a discussion about it so often.
Let's talk about Comcast. Oh wait, hold on, my internet's breaking up.
Don't want to risk it.
Yeah. It's interesting how Konami is able to keep themselves on the radar so consistently.
No such thing as bad press.
I remember thinking, I think I said on the podcast 4 weeks ago saying this is probably the last chapter in the Konami Kojima saga, but nope, that wasn't the case.
It never
MGS5 is coming out real soon.
Sooner than
that's the the death date for Kojima Productions.
Yeah, and the PC release date got bumped up too, right?
September 1st, I think.
Yeah, and if you pre-order, you get whatever. I'm not doing any marketing BS. Call of Duty. Okay, so one last bit. I think that's all I have. Oh, no, far from it. Dark Souls 3 is out. Or no, Dark Souls 3 is not out.
Oh, what? Oh my god.
Dark Souls 3
exclusive
gameplay footage is out. What do you guys think?
Looks like Dark Souls.
Yes.
Looks like Dark Souls.
Faster than regular Dark Souls, slower than Bloodborne, but apparently that is their goal, to make it faster than Dark Souls but slower than Bloodborne.
Okay. Is that a good thing? Meta-wise, you're a seasoned Dark Souls player, Max.
I am unsure because a guy in steel plate armor should not be moving that fast. Hopefully it's just because in the demo they have a character who is highly ranked with a lower ranked armor, and hopefully that's the reason why he can move so quickly in such a suit of armor. But let's see. Level design I like, and that's a huge part which made Dark Souls 1 so good. It definitely seems like Dark Souls 1 director has a lot of power over this, which is a good thing.
And
so thumbs up.
Okay. How does it compare to Dark Souls 2 though? How's Dark Souls 3 from what you've seen compared to Dark Souls 2?
Well,
in terms of level design.
Well, unless I see more of the levels, unless I see two environments connect, I can't make that comparison yet. Because with Dark Souls 2, what is it? You go upwards from a swamp and then you end up in the middle of a volcano. How does that make sense? So I can't make that comparison yet.
Well, you see, Max, was that what happened in Dark Souls 2, or?
Dark Souls 2 had a lot of stuff like that. Stuff that didn't make sense.
You see, Max, Dark Souls 2 took place on the island of Matanui, where all the biomes just seamlessly, mesh into one. I'm talking, of course, about the island from Bionicle, which, by the way, has a fantastic lore and story behind it.
Until they got a reboot.
I haven't actually talked about or seen anything from them yet because I have not been keeping track.
I've read a few things. The story is extremely simple. I don't think there's any connection to the original at all.
Okay.
So
anyways, like so like the island was like because each character was like based on a different element, like fire, water, ice. So the the design of the island was like, okay, we need all of these elements on one island. So they just put everything, like they meshed all of these things together, and I mean it works okay in terms of like how it meshes together, but it doesn't make sense geographically.
Well, it doesn't really work very well with Dark Souls 2. It's just, oh, you go down an elevator and suddenly it's a completely different place, and there was no hint that there was going to be a change in environment at all. It's just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
It reminds me of Metroid. Like playing Metroid Prime, I open up a door and suddenly I'm in like a lava place. Go back, jungle.
Yeah, that's pretty much it with Dark Souls 2. What made that worse is because Dark Souls 1, everything flowed so well. If you go from one place to another, it all made sense. Hopefully Dark Souls 3 will be like that. And also the boss design seems pretty good. Less of the humanoids, giant knight stuff, and more of the grotesque monster stuff. And also seems to take influence from Bloodborne with its monster designs for the bosses. So good news all around.
I do like me some giant monsters.
Yes.
Yeah. XCOM 2 screenshots were released this week. Taylor, did you see them?
No.
Oh, they look good.
Sorry.
They look good.
Okay.
Very polishy. It's not much I can
I'm
say.
avoiding any info in that game until I play it.
Okay.
It's one of those games where I know I'm gonna buy it, so I don't need to learn more about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way with Battlefront, but can't avoid that. Okay. Last thing was something was actually surprising this week was Call of Duty Black Ops 3, where some features, minimum specifications were announced for PC. One of the big things was dedicated servers.
Oh. For
Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I've noticed that the Black Ops games have always been really high quality.
Treyarch.
Yeah, Treyarch's been doing some good work on that. Like I actually own Black Ops 2 for some reason, and I actually enjoyed it. Quite a lot.
You sound so elitist talking about.
What do you mean some reason?
Call of Duty's fine.
Black Ops.
Yeah, you're right.
What do you mean some reason? Like, from what I know, Black Ops 2 was the most praised among PC Call of Duty players. So.
Well, I'm usually not the type of person to like buy a Call of Duty game in the first place, but I think I just my friend offered me a key like for the game, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then somehow I'm in possession of a game that I normally would not buy. That's just because I usually don't buy Call of Duty games, but it's I put several hours into it. It's fun.
Is it
like actually a lot of hours?
Is it actually dedicated servers, or is it going to be that hybrid half peer, half dedicated thing that Advanced Warfare seems to have done?
The quote from the Treyarch forums says 100% dedicated servers.
All right, that's good.
And then what I think the biggest thing that stood out to me though was split screen support. I'm not talking about on console, on PC, split screen support.
That is surprising.
And not only that,
why?
Because you can, and also awesome because I like splits. I think it's kind of like a chicken and egg thing where like people don't offer split screen on PC, so people don't really want to play split screen on PC because they're not expecting to. But hopefully, like this kind of spurs some more split screenness into PC. It's really cool because you could do split screen on one monitor, so like top and bottom or left and right, or you could do split screen across multiple monitors. So if you have a second monitor, you could display it on your second screen, and then boom.
My video card would die so hard.
Yeah, definitely something for higher end computers, but I like that they have that as an option because I really enjoy split screen. I like having people over, and when you have friends over and you're playing a PC game, you're very limited as to what PC games you could play.
We just play Spelunky.
Yeah, like we just play Spelunky, or I don't know. There's more couch co-op games coming out for Steam now that there's the Steam OS thing coming out. They're encouraging more console-like play, but I'm glad that they're adding that Black Ops is now part of that split screen revolution. One of the most important things though is like the one thing I saw was like, well, if Call of Duty's doing it, can DICE, do something like good about their trying to copy Call of Duty thing for once, and implement that into their PC version for
No.
Battlefront? Well, yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah. I really wish, because I wish they would, because that game is one of the most likely, like one of the games that should have split screen, because it has like a single player, co-op, offline co-op game mode. So,
Yes.
So it seems like a very good candidate for split screen.
Wait, do the console versions of Battlefront?
Yes, they do have split screen.
So why take it out on PC? Like, I feel like with Black Ops 3, it's not like they specifically put in split screen for PC. It's just that they developed it for consoles and saw no reason to take it out in the first place. So
well, you have to put in some extra developing time. One, in supporting the feature, and two, for like native split screen co-op for PC games is pretty hard to do, especially with all the different graphics cards you have to support, and especially over multiple monitors. So
yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah. I think that's it for the news we have this week. I wanted to talk about the new Intel processors, sort of, but it's not even worth talking about, because hey, new processor out by Intel, they're a little bit faster, new packaging, yada yada yada. It's not worth talking about, because the performance games are so predictable these days that it's not even
No huge leaps in technology.
In terms of processors, you'll always see a performance gain of 10 to 15% over each generation. I mean, I'm honestly, then that's generous, but for gaming, you won't see a difference.
Yeah.
If you have like a quad core or above CPU that was made in the past 4 years, you're perfectly fine. Yep, so that's it, I think, in terms of news. What have you guys been playing, consuming, producing? Anything this week?
Why don't one of you start?
Okay, Taylor, you start.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I played any games. I played some Heroes of the Storm by myself without Sam. It was very annoying, because shitty teammates, It's just still like League of Legends like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking through my Steam. Don't think I played anything, man.
Alright, that's fine. Okay, I guess for me, yeah, I haven't had time really to do anything, play that many video games. But I can say that I've been very heavily using Windows 10 on my laptop, because I upgraded over the weekend. And I could safely say that you should definitely upgrade. By the way, I learned this way too late, that you could actually, how it says that we're waiting for your manufacturer to contact us, make sure your computer's ready for Windows 10.
Yeah.
You could just skip that.
Oh.
You could if you click on it, I'm gonna click on it right now, and then thank you for reserving your free upgrade. Click to the right, or no, yeah. No, just click notify me when ready? No. Or I remember I found a way to do it. Or read the upgrade FA. No, that's not it either. Where is it? There was somewhere here. It was somewhere here where I lost it. It's somewhere. It's somewhere though. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not gonna sleep. Just clicking at everything, trying to make this work.
Oh.
Maybe you could just link to the tutorial after this.
Maybe. Okay, yeah. Yeah. But you could skip it, so just an FYI. Oh yeah. Here we go. Absolutely can't wait. Tech-savvy users can use the media creation tool to install immediately on one or multiple devices. So you have to go to the website, download the media creation tool, and then upgrade. I'll do that this weekend on my desktop, and then I'll give you guys a full review on it later.
Right.
And Max, I think we skipped you for, I guess, a good reason.
Because I don't really have much to say. I've been playing Warframe. That's the only thing I've been playing. That's it.
There was a new update last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Update 17. What is a new Warframe? Whatever. New faction. It has been teased. Uh, biggest thing is probably two big things. First would be the new parkour system. Uh, feels like a new game. There's more verticality. You're faster. You could jump over more obstacles. It feels fresh, like how I played it back in the 2013 early closed beta. It feels good again. And second one would be new tile set in which you are now fighting in the waterings of some Uranus.
Oh, oh boy.
And a lot of people in the Warframe community has been making jokes like Uranus is dark and wet and all of that.
Oh boy.
Are people that play Warframe all in the 3rd grade, or?
It's a free-to-play game, so...
So yes.
Well, its community is actually, compared to most free-to-play games, pretty nice, pretty generous. People will help each other out for no darker reason. They just help each other out because it's not like League of Legends, in which you are screaming at each other because it's a co-op game, not a, a player versus player game.
Yeah, you're just doing a ton of raids, right?
Well,
is that...
I would say it's more usually squad-based combat, but there are a few raids now since a few updates ago.
Okay. Taylor, I think we played a bit of Warframe back in either 2012 or 2013.
I played it when it came out, and I was bored by it, but I know it's a completely different game now. That I can't judge it the same way.
Yeah. Well, I just remember particularly because I think the way we described it was like, because we were so, I was particularly confused about like what it was about because the character designs were just so strange and like the setting was like what? It was just like, I think the way I described it was like, or you described it, I don't know who described it, was Hammerhead like space ninjas or shark space ninjas.
That is only one of them.
That was like all there was.
There was like 3 or 4 frames when it came out.
But they all look like sharks though.
It was so hard. It was really, that game was kind of convoluted in explaining to you what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
I just kind of went through really simple missions over and over again for like 3 hours and was like, is that it? Do I have to pay money to make this interesting?
And did all the levels look the same back then?
They were all spaceships, I think. Yeah,
the same blue, blue gray. Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Phone call and
it's for you.
Yeah, all right.
It's Mr. Warframe.
I'll be back.
Well, I don't know. I think that's about it though. That phone call, I think.
No, I forgot. I'm talking about the stupid VR time cover.
Oh right, yeah. So you could talk about it. Yeah. Go ahead and report on it.
We're not waiting for Max.
Oh well. Oh yeah, you're right. We should probably wait for Max.
I'm sure he's something snarky to say. It's really dumb. This picture is Palmer Luckey. He's like basically the main guy from Oculus Rift, which is he's very smart. He's usually very savvy about knowing how to show this to people.
Yeah.
Except for this picture that he did for Time, it's like one of the first mainstream or ways for the mainstream to see VR. It just looks dumb. If they showed it the way they have been, showing the potential of it rather than, this is fantasy guy. He's floating or something on a beach. He's not wearing shoes. Don't you want to escape into magical world too, consumer? And it just looks like kind of cringy and really stupid without actually showing all the potential that the hardware has.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, look at this nerdy thing that people are that nerds are gonna use to escape from reality because they're nerds. I
didn't get that out of that. It just felt like it's missing the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
we're so beyond that technologically. VR in the 90s, that's all it was.
Yeah, I just like the my favorite photo is of Will Smith of Tested in his face
with his mouth open.
With his mouth open. I think that's the iconic picture of the Oculus Rift.
I saw a very good Photoshop picture of his face on that Time cover, and it said like, "You look at virtual reality porn," and it was his face.
That's good. I think now like Tested's kind of kept that so that every time they do a VR cover, it's always Will with that headset on it, with like a VR headset on, and then like him making that face because it's become so iconic for them now, and for good reason. It's a good photo. Norman Chan is like an insanely good photographer. quite admire his photography skills. Hey, Max.
You
Hey,
back? Did you
yeah.
see that time cover?
Wait, what?
The time cover of Palmer
Oculus.
Luckey of Oculus Rift.
I have not.
I'll show it to you.
Did we stop recording or are we still recording?
We're
No.
still recording.
This is very important. I need your
Yeah.
initial reactions on this.
All right,
Picture.
link it to me.
I'm getting there.
I love the Giant Bomb headline for it. Time unloads full clip into VR's chances for mainstream acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Jeff Gertzman is a snarky dude.
It's laughable. It is.
Yep.
It's a really awkward pose. The more you look at it,
I'm floating, mommy. I'm flying.
it's not. It's not even I'm floating. It's more like. It's more like. So am I supposed to like look like I'm floating or something?
Doesn't even look like he's having fun. He's just like, yeah, I'm floating on the beach. That's what
it doesn't
do.
even look like floating. It's more like he's trying to flap his wings.
It just looks really awkward.
I did not expect that. I mean, I was expecting just the goggles sitting on a table or something, but I wasn't expecting a guy with this stupid pose.
And this is really lowbrow for Palmer Luckey because he's really smart.
He's a
and
smart
savvy.
guy. Yeah.
It's baffling to me.
Yeah. It's almost like a conspiracy for people to like dislike this technology, dislike technology. Maybe it's because Time is a print magazine. Coincidence?
Ooh.
I think not. No.
Or maybe they're just making fun of the fact that Oculus is a gamer peripheral.
Well, no, that's the point. That's the thing, though. It's like there's better applications for that, like VR porn, or for VR. Like there's better applications than that. There's more applications than just gaming. That's what I'm.
It does say about to change the world, not like change the world of gaming and stuff. It doesn't exactly say gaming on it. It just says using it as a tool.
That's true. That's true. I guess. Yeah. I mean, if a random passerby looked at this magazine, I wonder what they would think, because we're too far down the rabbit hole to like even like look at it like as from an outsider's view. Like from us, we see this looks dumb because it's Palmer Luckey looking dumb.
This is the kind of picture I save for a media studies class I take, and I have to write an essay on about bad media and advertising. This is the kind of thing I rub my hands together and go, oh yeah, let's get that. Give me that essay. This will be good.
Oh, one last thing I wanted to talk about. Actually, I forgot to mention in what I've been consuming was the new season of BoJack Horseman, which is on Netflix.
Oh.
And I say this because there's a character who is like, "Oh yeah, I just jumped off this the sinking ship that is print media. Thankfully I hopped onto a much safer venture, cable television."
Oh god.
It's particularly funny because BoJack Horseman is produced by Netflix, so it's like a jab at all at cable television.
Yeah.
So I thought that was particularly good. Anyways, I think with that awkward pose, I think we'll
That's
end
what
the
I'm doing right
podcast.
now, by the way. I've been doing that every time.
Just like
podcast. I'm just floating like a butterfly.
you could actually
Kind of
make that
looking a
pose in
little
your
bit
chair
ambivalent.
too. Like I feel like
But you
Actually,
couldn't be on the beach in your chair until now.
I feel like that's exactly like almost the point of it. Is that the point of it then? Is that like that he's in a chair and then like
No,
he's
he's
floating and
definitely
he's
not just in a
photoshopped out of
chair.
it?
No, it's just, I don't know, the beach just makes it look even more ridiculous, really.
Or maybe they actually tried to take a picture of Palmer Luckey actually doing something on his computer, right? Because I feel like his posture looks like he's sitting down, and like his arms are like at like a good length apart to be doing work. Like his right hand even has like his index finger pointed out as if he was clicking something, and
Oh.
I feel like they photoshopped him out of his workstation and then put him in the beach. And he was like, "All right, so you guys are gonna take a picture of me doing work, right? You know, doing it for professional
we're gonna take
applications."
this picture, yes.
Yeah,
We're going to take a picture of you doing
And he
work.
just doesn't wear shoes at his work because he's
Yeah.
a fucking millionaire and he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll buy that. I really want to read his article and see if the author gets it, and it was just someone else taking the picture that doesn't get it, or is just the whole Time magazine itself just doesn't understand it, and that might be indicative of the whole public opinion on virtual reality, because their last point of contact is in the 90s when it was all garbage.
I clicked on the link and if you click on the link for the article, I clicked on the link for an article, and it told me to continue reading by signing in. So that's that.
Well, according to this, it comes out August 17th, according to the cover. So
okay, and well, it's a subscriber content preview, and there's actually a picture of Ken Birdwell, a Valve engineer, working with it, and he's like walking, and he has like the 2 motion controllers that Valve has.
Does he dumb look? Oh my god, I said that. Does he look dumb?
He looks less dumb than Palmer Luckey does, but that's not saying much.
Okay.
I'll link it in the TeamSpeak, but with that, dear listener who cannot see that, I think it's time for us to close out. So as always, thank you for listening.
That looks really dumb.
Oh, not as dumb.
It's not as dumb as Palmer Luckey, but it's still pretty dumb.
Because at least it looks like he's doing something, but with the front cover is just. Now I'm thinking, is he trying to be a velociraptor?
Yeah, I'll play that game if you play a velociraptor in the beach.
He is role playing as Blue in Jurassic World.
Where's his thumb? Where's his thumbs up? Max and I had this thing where at the end of Jurassic World, if you haven't seen it,
guys, we have to end this podcast
before. Yeah. Well, anyways, at the end of Jurassic World, it's so stupid that the Velociraptor looks at Chris Pratt, and I honestly expected the Velociraptor to put a thumbs up. That's how dumb I thought the movie was. But
there was a reason why in that live podcast, if you see the Velociraptor, that's why it has the thumbs up. It's our inside joke.
But yeah, okay. Thank you for listening. Our outro and intro, as always, provided to us by the very talented Grant Webster. His SoundCloud link is in the video description. Max, do you have any new videos on your YouTube channel?
Absolutely not for a few months.
Doesn't matter because the link is in the video description as well.
God damn it, James.
If you want to follow us on YouTube. As always, subscriptions are always welcome. Taylor, do you want to shout out? Do you want to plug in your little Twitter?
I guess. I don't know. I don't post that much. It's just T Kelsey, TKALSEY.
T Kelsey. And if you want to follow me at the James Lee, if you want updates on the podcast whenever they come out, so you could view them as soon as they can, or you could hear weird things about what my life is like in a town where on the bus you see the sign saying "Caution, Farm Equipment Crossing." That's what I saw on the bus today on my way to work today. On my way to work, I saw the sign "Caution." Farm Equipment Crossing. I passed by some sheep. And with that, thank you for listening. On behalf of Max, Taylor, and myself, see you next time.